Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own project. If you're like me and really enjoy having something on while you work, sometimes the content you like to watch is very visually engaging, and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. We are working on the Mitt the Family pattern. It is a knit along for the month of August, or at least for most of August until I am finished with the project. We are at the step where I actually kind of skipped ahead a little bit. The next step after we had bound off the top of the mitten was to pick up and knit 3 stitches on the thumb. So I already did that. I have my DPNs in their order, and it said go ahead and work in pattern for 5 rounds. So we're going to start now that we've picked up our 3. So this will be the thumb. If I'm looking at the thumb and it's facing my left, this is the beginning of the round. It says to place the marker again, but how do I place a marker if I'm at the end of a needle? Don't know. So we'll go ahead and just eyeball this one and do our purling around once more. But yes, it is a Friday. Hopefully you guys can see me in the monitor here. Friday night. I was weaving in the loose ends after I finished binding off from the last video, and then my partner came in the room and was asking me some, not existential questions, but questions about what different terms mean and stuff. And I answered them to the best of my ability. Every now and then I get quizzed on stuff. Alright, so here we have a purl starting. I'm pulling it as tightly as I can, and bet I'm gonna get a weird gap right there. Gosh, I hate that. Tightly. Right. And then actually it's easy to remember the beginning of my round because it's the needle with the most stitches on it. Go me. Pull as tight as I can. Okay. So that was 1 round. We're on 2. Make a little adjustment here, so I have just a piece of string hanging on for dear life. Try to get these set up the right way. Okay, cool. All right. we'll continue. Oh, I need some support. This couch leans back way long further than I want. Alrighty. Okay, so we're kind of cruising. I'm like 5 rounds isn't too bad. I think I can manage that. Hope, pray that I can manage that. Pull this toward the middle. Get going in here. Pull that there. Okay. There we go. Right, and now we're on our last needle of the second round. I can get it to squish a little more. Hopefully that works. Alright. Okay, we have round 2. Now we're on to round 3. Starting with that pearl. I'm trying to pull it tight, but it's just not doing what I want it to do. Okay. Two more needles. Getting that jog again. Gosh darn it. I'm really trying to pull this as hard as I can to keep it squishy. But it's just not doing it for me. So I'm gonna have a janky looking thumb here. Okay. Then try it on the last needle. My friend who lives in New Mexico, well, one of my friends who lives in New Mexico sent me a picture of her cat on her mat that she uses when she's at her standing desk at work, and his name is Barney. He is black with some white feet and a little bit on his belly, and he was laying down and I could barely see him. I had to click in the picture to zoom in a little bit, and I saw like little tiny paws. I was like, what? I'm like, I probably would have stepped on him if I didn't know he was there, because he blends in so perfectly. She's like, yeah, he's spoiled. It's like, well, that's good. Goody that he's loved. But he looks like a ham. But yes, it was so funny because, like, after I was thinking about how inconveniently placed he was, it reminded me of when I was going downstairs to get my notebook where I was keeping the pattern. Kabu decided to lie actually, right on top of the stairs, like in the middle of the stairs. So I literally had to either step over her and potentially slip and fall down the stairs, or squeeze myself around her. And I was really surprised because she didn't even like try to move. Usually if she kind of thinks she might get stepped on, she might move out of the way. But they like to lay right in front of the door to the bedroom too, so if the door is closed and you wake up and you walk out, they might be like butted right up against it and you could step on them then. Or you open it and they're leaning on it and they just kind of like tumble into the bed. It's like, why would you want to be right there? But again, it's one of those cat logic things where they're not really thinking about their danger. One of my friends who I used to work with at my first job out of college, she's a cat person, and she's the one who actually asked me for all the pictures of cats that I had, and I shared a photo album with her of some of Kokuo, my belated cat, but mostly of Koji and Kabu. And a while ago when I was talking about how Kokuo, when he was still alive, wouldn't really get out of the way when I was walking, and she's like, it's because he trusts you. And I was like, well, that's cute, but also very dangerous. And it's happened before where Koji even will be walking and he'll be looking at, the person he's focused on, and will not pay attention to where he's walking, and he'll bump into something. Or he'll be running and he'll kind of like dart between your legs. Or he'll stop walking and then you step. Well, I don't. Thankfully, I'm not the one who always steps on him, but my partner will sometimes. And I'm like, why? Why do you keep doing that? Okay, we're on our last round. Man, this thumb is looking really raggedy. I can't pull it tight enough, I tell ya. I just can't do it. I just can't. I'm just gonna have to bring out the circulars again for the next time I do this, because this is definitely gonna be the macaroni craft project of my knitting this year, where it looks horrible. I'm like kind of ashamed to show you guys because it's so ugly. I really botched this one. Worse than the socks. At least the socks is like, you could kind of tell I was trying this macaroni noodles. Macaroni. At least I know how to do a thumb. Well, at least I kind of have the concept of how to do a thumb. I'm cracking myself up with how gross this looks. I really don't like. And it's probably it's always my fault. It's my fault. I screwed up somewhere and I just don't know. But I have a second chance, guys. We're gonna make it work. These will just be my wear when I'm walking to the train, whenever I walk to the train again, whenever I'm going to be going to town, engaging with the public. These will be the mittens I use. Because then my hands will be in my pockets the whole time and no one will see how horrible they look. Ugh. Thankfully this isn't like yarn I bought just for the project, so I don't feel so bad that I'm making this look super ugly. And not even like I'm trying to, it's just coming out that way. Cannot purl on a DPN. On the first purl, I cannot, just can't do it. Okay, finish that round. Now I have to bind off. How? Knitwise. Ooh, thank God. Knitwise, I can do that. Give me that. Bring that yarn around. Let's get this together. I can do a knitwise. Yes, pull it so tight. Wonderful, wonderful. That's what I can do. I guess can't get too trigger happy, otherwise it'll be tighter than my thumb. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Right. Righty. Cool. Alright, we're cooking with gas, guys. We are cooking with some gas, some propane, and propane accessories are happening. See, look how much faster I can do the knit one. Oh, and then I have this crazy jog right here. So I'm gonna see if I can help it by pulling it extra tight. We'll see. But maybe not. But we're making progress here. I mean, this project took, what, 1 week to do, about a week to do, one. And if you think of the timeline, it was less than that, because if I did this in one sitting, I probably could have done it in, like, you know, a couple days maybe. But breaking it up video by video, how long we spend each video, easily like a weekend project if I just cranked it out, you know, battery juice permitting. Okay. Alright, now let me cut my bit here. Alright guys, we now have one. I guess I decide which one I want it to be. Can I tell which side? I guess not. Yeah, I have to, maybe you can see it right here, but there's a big old hole where I had to save the stitches and then keep knitting and then add the thing. So there's a hole right here, which is usually where I get holes in my gloves anyway, oddly enough. So I'm gonna pull this string down there a little bit and just like kind of cinch it up a little. But for the most part, we have our, let's roll down a little. We have glove mitt 1, and now we just have to work on the next one, which will be what I do tomorrow, which will be Saturday. So Saturday will be getting ready with the second mitten, and then we'll see where we get by Sunday on that. But yeah, there was a learning curve. There's always a learning curve for me because I'm just that girl who struggles all the time. I'm either like looking into it too hard or I'm not looking into it enough, and then I get confused. And then we're here. But you guys stuck it out to this point, and we're gonna go ahead and continue. But as you can see, we got pretty far with just working on one. And now that I kind of know what to expect with this, I imagine we will be done in the next week, and then we can do something else. But yeah, thank you for sticking it out with me. We're making some progress there. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.